Hello everybody and welcome back, where today we're covering the brand new update to Gran Turismo 7 using the PSVR2 headset. Now there are no PSVR2 specific upgrades here, but experiencing these cars in virtual reality is something else, and it's the main thing that we do here when every update drops. Before we get into this, only 25% you are subbed to the channel, so please feel free to do so, and thank you to our patrons and members. I could not do this without them. With that being said, let's talk the new GT7 update. Now these four cars can all be brought from Brand Central, including the Chevy, Corvette Z06, the Ferrari 812 Superfast, the Honda CR-V, and the Suzuki Carry. The Corvette can be picked up from used cars though. Each of them have customization options, but for today, we'll be tackling them stock as they come. And let's kick things off with this. Possibly my most anticipated car of the update, the Chevy Corvette. This is the 5th generation Corvette and was originally unveiled in 2000. It's got enhanced suspension, upgraded brakes, and a 5.7 litre V8, which produces stock 384.6 horsepower. This hardtop variant of the C5 does look striking, especially in the yellow colour it comes in stock. The high performance advantages of this C5 model though did put it at the top of the range in terms of price out of the entire lineup of cars, and was iterated upon in the future, but for now we have the original, and it is a fantastically fun car to drive.
But for a car to cruise around an area like this, it's pretty fantastic. Of course, in VR, you can really appreciate all the little details because everything has that real depth to it, which you just don't get in the flat screen, really. One thing with the C5 though is that it's more expensive than the faster versions of the Corvette. I think the C7 is in the game, if I remember right, and that is pretty much at an advantage compared to this car in every single regard, especially in actual power and performance. But it's less expensive than this. You can shave a bit of the price off here, I think, by going to used cars and picking it up there, but I picked it up from Brand Central, so I've spent more money on this than on the C7, which is, well, the better car. Performance-wise anyway, in terms of how it actually looks and feels, that is up to the driver, and to be honest, this is feeling pretty great. It's the first time I've hopped back onto my sim rig in a little while. I've finally come home, been able to play some Gran Turismo on it, and this is the first car I've taken out, and this is feeling really nice. Traction control's on about medium, 2 or 3 at the moment, and that seems to be kind of like the sweet spot to throw it into corners and not lose it completely, but get a bit of spinning around the back, a little bit of oversteer, but not too much, being able to catch it properly. But no, it's feeling really good. And of course I couldn't touch the colours. Corvette has to be yellow in my eyes, and it is.
Next up we have the slowest car of the update, but one that is quite customizable, but in stock looks like this. This is the Suzuki Carry KC 2012. This is a micro truck, and K cars like this are very popular in Japan. They're ultra compact vehicles that can actually store a surprising amount in the back, but have a small footprint, so they're easy to park and easy to drive. Now the history of the Carry goes way back to 1961, but this particular model is from 2012, as we said before, and it's actually the final iteration on the 10th generation model, which was brought in 1999. See, this is because changes to the K-car regulations came into effect that previous year, so the Carry had to adjust to fit. It actually got slightly larger during this redesign as well, but compared to the other cars in this update, its size is absolutely nothing. It has a load of customization options for the back cab, so I definitely recommend giving it a look if you grab it yourself for its low price of 7,600 credits.
But to be honest, this has one benefit for me, one real benefit, and that is that it's, well, one, it's cheap, it's 7,600 credits, which is nothing, but also it's very slow, and you might think that that is a bad thing, and in some cases, yes it is, but it makes you appreciate little details, is what I found. You know, bombing it down the straight here at 110 kilometers an hour, which if I look out to the right does seem pretty quick, but when I'm looking forward it doesn't. You can kind of take in some of the details you don't usually see, like the cars parked over there, and you know, the wood paneling of the bridge, and all the shadows that move dynamically with the windmills. You know, it does make you appreciate the game, right? I am wondering if there's a way to maybe break the suspension of this though. Like with the old van, when the suspension update came out, you could send it into the sky. Maybe if you put on really grippy, slick tires, you'd be able to do something to the suspension to do the same here. I mean, it's kind of fun to drift around a little bit. We can, you know, say hello to the marshals. We're going that slowly. But I mean, it costs nothing, so what do you expect?
Penultimately, we have quite a boring hybrid, I have to be honest. This is the Honda CR-V eHEV EX Black Edition 2021. What a name that is, what a mouthful. Sports utility vehicles are useful in real life, but in GT7, this one just doesn't really excite me. Originally piggybacking off the Odyssey design, the first generation CR-V came out in 1995, and from here it did become a favourite in North America. And this here is the 6th generation of the CR-V, the 2021 version of it. And it was the first one to offer that hybrid powertrain, linking up a 2-litre engine to 2 electric motors, operating in 2 different modes, both series and parallel. This makes it very efficient, but for a game like GT7, I'm not looking for efficient, I'm looking for fun. Some people will definitely like it, especially if they own it in real life and now can have it in the game, but for me, it's not really what I'm looking for here.
But I thought I'd bring it to the Tokyo Expressway, one because I've been here not too long ago in Tokyo, so I thought it might be quite cool to see. And also because it's a car that people will actually use and maybe have, you know? And putting it through its paces in kind of like a day-to-day environment like this seems fitting. One thing for me is kind of like a sim race who's not very good or doesn't take it very seriously, is that I do like to know what gear I'm going into a corner if it's an unfamiliar track, and with automatic cars like this that have no gears, it's quite difficult to, because of course you just have drive at the top and there's no suggested gear because there are no gears, which makes it a bit tough when learning tracks, knowing exactly how much to brake and how much to shift down, so it's an interesting one.
The Ferrari 812 first appeared in GT7 and hasn't been in a GT game before this. With a 6.5-litre V12 engine producing over 800 horsepower, you'd expect this car to be incredibly unwieldy to drive, but due to its 4-wheel steering system, it actually is pretty nimble on the track, and I took it out into a Soviet race to really stretch its legs, and it was fantastic. Visually, the car looks elegant as well. Usually the mid-engine V12s have this sort of look, but the Ferrari just pulls it off. And this was the first Ferrari to have electric power steering, and it is such fun to drive.
But this car is an interesting one because we've known it was coming for a very long time. Since 2022, in fact, was the first time that it appeared. Oh my god, in the files. Loosen up the brakes there. So every single update, I've seen at least one person mention it potentially coming, and it's finally here. But there was always that bit of doubt because when cars are scanned in for the game or they're in the files, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to be completed and they're going to be ready. Sometimes content does just get cut, you know, doesn't always make it to the game, but in the Ferrari's case it is here. And this is the 2017 model of the car, and right now it's feeling great to drive. Very responsive. As soon as I put my foot down, the power's there. Alright, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, 310, 320, 330. It is ridiculously fast. We've left the Lambo in the dust there. Reaching 350 kilometers an hour. Oh no! Oh my god.
Anyway, that'll do us for today. Thank you so much for watching. Which car was your favourite from this update? Please do let me know, and I hope to see you all in the next one.